Almost everything you've ever heard about what makes a man a high value man is not only incorrect, but in more cases than not, it is detrimental, not just to the individual who's looking to mold themselves into this caricature that they call a quote unquote alpha male or a quote unquote high value male, but also the individual who is looking to get into partnership, into union, into relationship, to fall under the leadership of this so called high value individual. Now, I'm not going to be the one to say, there is bad or wrong in masculinity. I'm not the one to shut down masculinity. Masculinity is a beautiful thing. In the same way, femininity is a beautiful thing. And when we come into union, it is the most beautiful thing. But what I will say is this: what we have been told or we have adopted as the idea of a high value man is oftentimes in complete contradiction. For example, we're told that the high value male is the one who not only has access to, as much female attention and validation as humanly possible, but is one who initiates sexually with these individuals, which means this individual is actually going against what truly makes a man, which is the ability to commit, the ability to be disciplined in all ways, the ability to actually have a foundation that is not built on sand, but on solid ground. A high value man, as we have been told, is one who is fixated on looks, on status, and on a bank account. Now, don't get me wrong. There is a very real aspect of a man being a provider and a protector within a household. That's not a made up programming or conditioning of society. That's a very real attribute of what it is to be in the masculine. The protector and the provider, absolute. That is divine masculine traits. However, when it becomes about the perception of others, when it becomes about this social symbol to the rest of the world, as opposed to your ingrained character, as opposed to an actual part of what you are, because you're one of integrity and you stand on something, therefore you're going to take care of your responsibilities. When it's fixated on the external world, that's not a man, because anybody can do that. A boy can do that. A boy can climb up the social ranks. He can put up as much muscle as he wants to. He can, make as much money as humanly possible, and it's still not going to make him a man. It's not going to make him a quote unquote high value man. Now, he may be valued in the quote unquote marketplace. It's crazy. We call it like this dating marketplace, like we are objects, like we are, mannequins in a retail store, right? And people can just sift through us. No wonder why we have these dating apps where you just swipe through people's faces, because we have literally downgraded ourselves into just objects. But that's a story for a whole nother time. We believe that a high value man is one who is seen in the eyes, oftentimes, of other men as, high status. When in truth, what made a man and will forever make a man, one who stands his ground, one who truly embodies those divine or healthy masculine characteristics, is one who has integrity, one who has dignity and stands in that dignity, one with a high level of self-respect, an individual who keeps to their responsibilities, the person who says they're going to do something, and guess what? They do it. The one who takes upon themselves to make sure they take care of what they have created, not the one who evades their responsibility. So you have the individuals like the Nick Cannons of the world, the Cam Newtons of the world, right? Who many men may view, or at least boys or, males may view as high value because they got the money, they got the status, right? They got a certain look. But yet when you look into their lives, these are individuals who have been known not to take care of their children, to continue to repopulate without actually creating a homestead, creating more and more broken homes. So how does that make a high value man? Where's the value there? So the value is an illusion. The value is created by, again, other individuals who deem themselves as not valuable outside of the material, outside of the external. We have lost our character. We have lost our dignity. We've lost our integrity, and we've replaced it for these superficial things. And we wonder why we have, households that are broken. We wonder why we don't have the fathers in the households. We wonder why we don't have strong figures. You may be saying to yourself, well, the woman of this ain't the video about them right now. Trust me, I get to everybody. I'm a fair sharer. I give it to everybody. And this level of responsibility that I'm placing upon you, this level of accountability that I'm placing upon you, this is from a place of love. Because anybody who does not tell you the truth does not love you. They may have some sort of good intention behind what they're doing. Maybe they believe they care about you. But even a caring place can come from a fearful place, can come from a place of projecting insecurities and a multitude of others. But it's not love. Because love wants you to do better for yourself no matter what, even if it doesn't fulfill my agenda. And I want that. I want that for you. I want that for the one who is next to you. I want that for us because I understand that when we create healthy individuals, we create healthy households. Our babies grow up in healthy environments, and that makes for a healthy society. That's how that works. But the individual must take responsibility. I'm tired of the excuses, y'all. I'm really tired of the excuses. I'm tired of the pointing blame, the finger pointing. I'm tired of the, you did and you did. No, you made decisions in your life and you're making decisions that are either going to benefit you and the ones you're responsible for or vice versa. Now, look, you are not responsible for somebody you didn't make a promise to, straight up. You didn't make a vow to that person. You didn't make a promise to be monogamous with this person. You didn't make a promise to what? Okay, I get it. But the moment that you now lay up with that individual, the moment that you lay up with that lady right there, you are making a decision that you must be responsible for, straight up. You may not be responsible for her, but you're going to be responsible for what she produces, if you catch what I'm throwing. You may not be responsible for her life, but you're going to be responsible for the life that then comes out of her. Straight up. And if you make, on top of that, if you make a promise to her, then you got to keep that promise now. You got to keep that promise. You made that vow. You can't step out just be, oh man, man, she's just annoying. She's frustrating me. She's this, she's that. You made the promise. So either you get out of that vow, either you break that covenant, right? You make that decision to do so, which means you sign the paperwork or, you end the relationship like a man, or you stick it through and make it happen. Simple as that. I'm not falling for the, but you don't understand. A man's got to do what a man's got to do. No, I don't stand for nobody who cheats. I cut niggas off on a daily basis for doing exactly that. The last time I ever had to do it, a dude who, I got real cool with at the gym. We used to talk boom, 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 back and forth. African dude like myself, born in Ethiopia. We used to go back and forth. And all of a sudden, he comes up to me one day and he's, cheesing. I just walked into the gym. He's like, hey, look at this, look at this. He shows me this girl. He's like, yeah, this was us. And I was like, man, I do remember he was talking to some chick, the other day at the gym, but I didn't mind it, no business. Then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I brought her to the house and I smashed. And I was like, wait, but he's like, yeah, my girl left. And I was like, hold up. I said, your girl, wait, so you're telling me that, you're stepping out of your relationship. Oh, you're disrespecting your relationship. Oh, you're disrespecting the promise you made. You're disrespecting your own promise. Okay. That was the last time we talked. That was the last time we ever talked. I was good off that because you show me everything you need to show me as far as who you are as a man. And so getting back to this thing of a high value man, we have been fooled, bamboozled. We've been convinced that these things, these caricatures, anybody can get a check. Don't get that twisted. Anybody can lay up. An animal can lay up with 1,000 partners. Don't get that twisted. That don't make you nothing special. That makes you an individual who has no level of discipline. Again, go get your paper. Get your paper all the way up. But your paper is not going to make you because you cannot buy integrity. You cannot buy honesty. You cannot buy dignity. You can't buy those intrinsic aspects. You can't buy alignment of word, action, and thought. You can't do that. That has to be developed and cultivated within you. You can't buy honesty. You either got it or you don't. You either developing it and you're moving through life honestly or you're lying through life. You can't buy it. I promise you that. It's going to be a different type of work. And this might be the first time you're hearing a message like this. You might be a woman who's hearing this the first time. You're like, damn, that actually makes sense. Yes, of course it makes sense. because we live in the upside down. We have been told a bunch of foolishness that has led us to nowhere but more destruction, more chaos, more toxicity. That's all that's done. And y'all have fallen for that too. Y'all are falling for. I remember back in the day seeing these videos of, they would be asking young ladies like, "Oh, would you rather have, a man who's making 100,000 in a job and is honest, or would you rather have a dude who's, a dope boy making, $1 million a year?" And I mean, of course, they edit how they want to edit, but I was like, even one person saying that they want the dope boy or whatever was crazy to me. But I said, of course, because we have created a culture of dysfunction, of toxicity, where we have reversed and inversed what actually matters. And, I've heard young men, even older men say, well, that's what women want. They want what they want. And I say, okay, so you mean to tell me that you're going to continue to perpetuate these dysfunctional and toxic characteristics because of the women who have now portraying or living out the dysfunction and the toxicity? So you're going to, okay, instead of being a righteous man, right? What you're going to do is be unrighteous because there's already unrighteous people out there. Might as well do it too. Okay, so somebody's going to jump and you going to jump. Well, everybody's jumping, so might as well. What sense does that make? Everybody else is destroying their life, so I might as well destroy mine too. What sense does that make? You can't call yourself a leader if you're not actually leading. We love this thing of, I want one to submit under me and, my leadership, my authority. My nigga, you ain't got no authority. You have no leadership unless you are living from a place of integrity, unless you can keep your word, unless you are an honest man. These are values that you're not going to hear from your Tates and your whoever the hell else is, spewing this nonsense out there. The Bugatti can't get you character. The Bugatti can't get you steadfast, 10 toes, standing on what you stand on, speaking truth to power. It can't buy you that. I don't care what your portfolio looks like. I don't care what everybody else around you thinks about you. For myself, I'm somebody who's in the public eye, right? And my quote unquote status continues to grow and I'm known by more people, etc. But that will never define who I am. If I try to replace this with that, I've lost myself. If I take away the attributes that make me who I am and I replace them for these false attributes that the world is telling me I should value, I will lose myself. And you don't have to have one or the other, right? I believe that if you stand in integrity and you truly move in that way, if you stand honest, you will actually have greater success throughout your life. You will actually have greater wealth within your life because you're also trustworthy. It's like we talk about character and reputation. Reputation is what other people perceive of you. Character is who you truly are behind closed doors or in front of anybody's face. That's your character. And so if you have a good character, an upright character, it's going to translate into your reputation because over the long haul, people can trust you and they know they can because you've shown up the same continuously. You've just been the same person, period. You didn't switch up because of who was around you. You didn't switch up because, times are good, times are hard. You didn't switch up because, it was convenient or inconvenient. You were who you were and you stood on what you stood on. And that right there, even people who have no integrity are going to respect you at the very least. They might not like it, but they're going to respect it. Best believe that. And as a man, respect is huge within our world. But you're trying to get it in a fake version. You're trying to get this false respect. That's why there's a difference between like an individual like a David Goggins and most, quote unquote, motivational speakers, because it's in him. What he's talking about is because his shins have bled out from running 100, 200 miles. His arms almost falling off because, breaking the world record for pull-ups. It's when he speaks of something, there's conviction. Because it's a part of him. That's why people say, man, you talk different. I don't have no script. I'm not going off anything. I just, whatever is downloaded, I'm going off it because it's me. I'm talking about me. I'm talking about what I am. You understand me? And that's the only thing that I can project out to you. So these folks, the only thing they have to give you is the shallowness. All they have to give you is the illusion. And they will continue to sell you on that mess. And you'll find yourself getting more muscle, getting more money, and getting more, whatever the hell it is that they're selling you as well after you buy their course, right? They'll sell you on all these ideas and you still find yourself insecure or feeling, a sense of like in your relationships, things aren't working out. Maybe you're laying up with more chicks, but you're not actually in any functional relationship. So you think you're winning, but you're really not. Oh, it's working, but it's really not. It's all a facade. It's all an illusion. The only high value man is one who can stand in the purity of what it is to be masculine, which is to have a high value system, character. Who are you truly, through and through? Are you one who stands in integrity? Or are you one who is not aligned with your word and your thought and your action? Do you do one thing one day and one thing another day? Do you say one thing and do the complete opposite? Do you show up consistent, committed? Do you commit to your responsibilities? Do you keep your word? Yes, I'm going to do this. No, I'm not going to do that. Yes, I'm with you. No, I'm not with you. Simple as that.
I used to be afraid of the dark, a place unknown like a heart in their heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's not. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light.